Real-life fantasy, my virtual BDSM. Written by Marika Daniels. Narrated by Scarlet Prince. I've never done anything like this before. I mean, I'm not a prude by any means, but this is beyond my scope of experience. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe it's finally happening. Maybe this was a bad idea. Coming here may have been a huge mistake. What if he's a psycho killer and chops me into bits? What if he's ugly? What if he's catfishing me? 1,000 thoughts race through my mind as I attempt to quell the tight bloom of desire deep in my chest. You can do this, Catherine, I murmur to myself, staring up at the huge flashing neon light hanging above the bar. The sign reads Charlie's in a painfully bright blue glow, but the A and L are flickering weakly. My feet feel heavy and immovable as I finally make my way inside the bar. I've made a lot of online friends over the years, which tends to happen when you have a kinky fetish like I do. But I've never made the jump to meeting one in person. I do feel like it's a little suspicious Mark wanted to meet in person so badly. God, why did I agree to do this again? Am I really that desperately horny that I'll meet up with a random online dom just for the slight possibility that I might get laid? I push my way through the threshold and am met with a blast of cold air and the dank, cave-like environment of Charlie's. It's an old bar, one I've driven by 1,000,000 times but have never had reason to go inside. The space is small and crowded, nearly packed to the brim with young people clad mostly in black and leather. The lights are dim and red, and it's a little difficult for me to make out anyone's faces. How the hell am I going to find someone I've never met in person in this crowd? Sighing, I make my way over to the bar, which is manned by one slow brunette who resembles a sloth. She takes her time in asking for my order. "Gin and tonic," I yell over the pulsing bass of the techno song. Now that I think about it, this was a really strange bar to choose for our first official meeting. How are we going to hear ourselves think, much less hold a conversation? As the bartender makes my drink, I glance around the space once again. From the picture he's shared, I know Mark is tall and lean and has a little brown stubble on his face. He works out and he's got a jaw that could cut diamonds. Thinking about our first conversations on that bondage forum we met on 3 years ago sends butterflies into my stomach. He was capable of being sweet and caring as well as domineering and incessant. I would stay up until dawn sometimes discussing my favorite gags and positions to be tied in with Mark. That, naturally, led to some more sexual conversation. Role-playing, sexting, and exchanging erotic tales were some of our favorite pastimes together. He was so much more than just a friend to me. He was, on occasion, my master. Maybe that's why I'm so nervous to meet him. What if we don't get along in person? I'm interrupted out of my thoughts as a double gin and tonic is placed in front of me. I pay the bartender and finally slide my way into the crowd. As I shoulder past 20-somethings clad in leather harnesses and stylish fetish gear, I start to realize why Mark wanted to meet here. It's a fetish bar. Through the throng of people, I see a small stage in the back of the bar where I assume some very titillating shows are put on. Okay, Mark. Points for the choice of environment for our first meeting. Now, if I could only find him. I'm delighted to find an outdoor patio in the back of the bar where far fewer people are congregated. The music can still be faintly heard, but this area seems to mostly be for smokers. I take a seat at one of the unoccupied bar stools, positioned beside a long community wooden table, and sip awkwardly on my drink. I don't really go out all that often.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?